And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It's another episode of Hansons on Hiatus. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And it's episode number 36.
Nice.
Yeah,
Almost caught up to us.
Mm-hmm. So as usual, if you'd like to support the podcast, buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can go there and buy us a beer. Subscribe, like, follow, share, all those things on YouTube, Spotify, and now, bro, I can't remember who asked me to do this. I'm sorry, I don't recall your name, but somebody reached out to me and said, hey, can you get on Google Podcasts? Because that's how he listens. And so I was like, yeah, let me do that. So you cannot, unfortunately, see the video on there. You can only see it on Spotify and YouTube. But now I believe we're on Google Podcasts. I think iHeart. I think Apple Music. If not, that one's still pending. So we're on some other platforms.
Very
So
nice. We're fancy.
if you listen a different way, go back to your app and search. So hopefully we're on there. And if we're not, send me a message and we can figure it out.
Yeah, that's great.
But also, Lex, you look so beautiful and clear today.
Do I?
Yes,
Thank you
do.
so much. I wonder why.
Yeah. So we have a new camera for you because
Yay.
we've been dealing with those Chinese ones that have been fucking us up.
Terrible.
Yeah, but as we talked about last week, our buddy 2%er diehard Jose and his family came down this last week.
Wonderful family.
Yeah.
Love them. Been diehards from the beginning.
Mhm.
Love it.
And he runs Epon Superstore in Jonesboro on Spur 138. If you're looking for some good deals, he got some there, and you can check him out, eponatl.com. And then also they do a lot of like Facebook marketplace sales. And I think he's Epon Sales on Facebook.
That's awesome. They have tons of stuff there.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. So he got us a camera that was actually functional. And so you're a lot clearer now.
I love it. It's very fancy and it's cuter looking too.
Yeah. So thank you, Jose. And, check out Epon if you need some stuff and you're in Georgia or wherever. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, but anyway, so yes, he and his family were in town this last week, and it was him and his wife, and Jose is Venezuelan and his wife is Mexican, and then he was with his daughter and niece.
Yep.
And
They were all so fun.
yeah, they were great. We had a good time with them. They stayed in our rental next door.
Yep.
So again, if you guys are looking to go somewhere for the holidays or next year or whatever, you're looking to come down to Mexico, need a place to stay, shoot us a message.
We got a good spot for you.
Yeah.
Casita de Hanson.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny, and actually Jose's wife mentioned it, his wife Carmen mentioned it to us, and she was like, "It's really funny to be shown around Mexico by an American when she's Mexican."
By a white dude.
Yeah. But she's from, I think I don't know if she's not from Mexico City originally.
It's like south of Mexico City, or yeah.
I don't remember the direction. I
Yeah.
apologize.
But she said Mexico City.
But yeah, had family in Mexico City and everything like that. So this is like a different area of the country for her. It's just
yeah.
like if you grew up in, I don't know, like Washington, D.C., and then you had, wanted to go to Miami or something for vacation. It's just like completely different vibe and,
Yeah.
part of the country on the ocean. It's a touristy area, but, lots to do and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty funny for me to show them, and it was helpful too because I'm not fluent in Spanish yet, and they clearly are. So
Yes.
it was nice to have them. Like when we were getting taxis, sometimes we'll get gringo priced, like they're like, oh, we can take advantage of this guy. So when we were getting taxis, I was like, Jose, go ahead and you ask for it,
Yeah.
the taxi, and give us a good deal. We did get a good deal.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I loved all of them. They were hilarious. I love his wife Carmen. They were a great family to have here.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fun.
Yeah, so hopefully they had a good time. And it was Jose's birthday, as said my beer chug. So happy birthday again.
Yep. Feliz
But yeah,
cumpleaños.
we did. What all did we do? We took him to Cenote, or I did.
Mhm.
You were working.
You guys went to Cozumel.
Yeah, so we went to the Cenote,
Oh.
and first of all, actually this time the taxi guy did try to rip us off.
Oh.
So we were asking for
Rude.
it, and this is like the Cenote is maybe like 20 minutes down the highway. And you can either go taxi or you can take a collectivo, which are the little vans, the little combis that we've been talking about before, and they're super cheap.
Little pack.
But we were trying, yeah, it's like you got to get there and then take the combi from there. So we were like, okay, let's just take a taxi. And we asked him, I can't remember how much he said it was. I swear, I think he said like 800 pesos or 1,000 pesos, which
Get
is like
outta here.
$50, which is insane for a 20-minute drive.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah, never mind. Just take us to this grocery store where, the collectivos pick us up.
Gotcha.
And we get there and, and on the way there, I'm sorry, he said, well, it's like 250 pesos per person on the collectivo. So, you should basically trying to just take the taxi.
250 pesos on a collectivo,
which is like $13-14.
Oh gosh,
no
we're liars.
Yeah, so we get there and it's 35 pesos, which is like $1.50.
Yeah,
which I thought it was 50 maybe, or like 50 pesos, but it was 35 pesos. So.
It's like a public transport system. It's almost like the bus, but a little more.
But he knew they were tourists, and he knew I probably couldn't understand what he was saying. So I think he was trying to scam us a little bit, or at least give an incentive. I get it; it's a hustle. You're trying to get your taxi.
No, I don't get it. Don't hustle me, taxi. Let's just be fair, and I would take you every time. Why are you lying to me and hustling me and stuff?
Yeah, but if you own a small shop or a business, and somebody comes in there. You're not going to go, well, it's way cheaper down at Walmart. If you just want to go there and not give me business, go ahead.
I know, but as a business owner, I wouldn't lie to them. I would just be like, there's no other way to get there. Sorry, I don't know.
Well, you did lie to them then.
Well, I guess. You're like, you figure it out. I'm not sure how to get there.
I didn't say I accepted it. I'm just saying I get it. You're trying. They're already in your taxi. You're trying to get your money and say, but yeah, like completely lying is ridiculous. That was way too much too.
Too much.
So we went to the cenote, had a good time there. And then one day on Jose's birthday, we went to the soccer game.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, the soccer match. Actually, the football match.
Football match. I kept getting in trouble saying soccer game, soccer match, whatever.
And it's great because it's like free to get in. You can bring your own beer. I don't know if you really are supposed to bring your own beer, but we did.
Nobody seemed worried.
And there's a guy there that's selling beers out of a bucket with like a big chunk of ice in it.
He's so nice. It was the same guy as last time too.
Yeah. And then we saw this one guy, and he was getting a picture take, or like these other Mexicans were coming up to him and getting their picture taken. He was a tall dude,
super tall,
and he had some kind of like basketball shirt on. So I don't think he played like for the NBA or anything, but
his shorts said NBA on them.
Well, yeah, but so does my fucking 12-year-old cousins. Like you can buy those.
They look legit.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe he plays for some like Mexican basketball league, and he's like famous here or something. But yeah, so we're watching the football match, and all of a sudden it just starts. Well, no, sorry, it starts sprinkling,
right?
And then some people are kind of going in and covering themselves, and then it's just monsoon.
I know.
It was coming down, bro. It was crazy.
The sky opened up. The little sprinkles, we were like pansies. Like it's a soccer game. We're outside. We're all sweating. It's fine. It felt good. And then just boom, dumped on us.
Yeah, and the diehard Mexican fans are just taking their shirts off, spinning around their head. Woo!
It was so funny.
And then some of them, those like cardboard things for beers.
Yeah, like the little beer pallet.
Yeah,
thing.
a little pallet type of thing. There was a couple guys holding that over their heads and stuff. So that was a good time.
Everybody ran, took cover, just figured it out. But there were still a lot of people in the stands that just didn't care.
Yeah, yep. And then we went to what did we do? Oh, we went and got tacos after that, the street tacos. And these street tacos are delicious.
Delicious.
And they're obviously on the street, but they're in this little alley in between the two grocery stores. So it's funny you like go to the outside of the grocery store to get food.
Yeah, but they're the best.
Yeah. And then so we sat there, we ate tacos with this whole family and some of our friends and everything. And we go back, and I can't remember. I think it was his niece saying, she was like, I saw him do two things on this trip that I've never seen him do before. And one of them, I can't remember what the first one was, but the second one was eat tacos. And I was like, fuck. I was like, we took him to get tacos on his birthday. He doesn't even like tacos, or not a big fan. So I don't know. So I felt bad. But...
He looked happy.
Okay,
he looked happy. And
you can't go wrong. They were delicious. Maybe he doesn't like American Mexican tacos.
Yeah, maybe that's it. He's like, I've never found a taco I liked until I went to Mexico.
Yeah. And since it was his birthday, we were trying to be a little sneaky and get a cake. Actually, to be fair, his daughter was the one that came up with the idea.
Yeah.
And she was like, hey, is there somewhere we can get a cake? And I was like, why don't we go get it? So, because they were going to be together mainly the whole time.
Yeah, doing things. Like, you don't have time to go get cake.
Yeah. So we went and got a cake and some candles and everything. And the plan was to surprise him, I guess, up on the roof.
Yeah.
And open the like they open the doors and he's gonna come in and be like, ah. Did not happen like that.
It did.
No. So we get up there and we got the cake and we get the candles in and it's like windy on the roof.
So windy.
And it's starting to rain.
Yeah.
And they start coming up and we get the candles lit.
Blew it.
Blew them out. Light them again. Blew them out. And so, yeah. So he comes up and we're like, we're sorry.
We got him lit for like a second. He got to blow him out eventually, but it was like right before this tornado was coming through. We're like, okay, hurry up, let's go.
Yeah, so I felt bad about that, but it was the thought that counts, right?
Yeah, you did your best. He had a great time. The cake was good. Everybody seemed happy.
Yeah,
I think you worry too much.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and I just want them to have a good time,
Yeah.
But it was fun to show them around because his family being Mexican, they like actually, not that other people don't appreciate it, but they appreciated the like the different foods and desserts and like little candies. And his wife was like, oh, I haven't had these since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And, she bought like a whole box of this one kind of candy to take back.
And the pastries.
Yeah.
She was like, they taste so much better.
So it was fun to like watch them, like really appreciate some of the things we have here.
Yeah.
Especially candy, because I'm not a big fan of the Mexican candy, but
I like some of it.
yeah, some of it, but
dabble.
I like more chocolate stuff. And the candy here is more like sweet or fruity or has like a spiciness to it at the same time.
A lot of tamarindo
and
things
like that.
Caramel stuff, but I've grown to like it. I have tried different kinds and it's growing on me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and speaking of being a little nervous for people to come in town, like I've said this before, is I want Playa to look good. It's like, have you ever gone on a trip? Like you guys used to go to Florida a lot when you were kids.
Yeah.
When you go there and you get there and you're all excited, you've been waiting for this for weeks and you're on vacation, and then you get there and then it's like cloudy or raining or a hurricane or something, and it just kind of kills that vibe,
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like when we would come here and you get out of the airport and you just feel that mugginess and just like the smell of the air and you're just like, I'm fucking here.
Yes.
You get that feeling.
I think it was nice. They seemed not too bothered by it. It was a nice relief because, it's cold in Atlanta, but I think they were happy. It was nice little, wasn't super hot, and the sun came out for every, kind of water activity you guys wanted to, or they wanted to do. So it worked out pretty good.
Yeah. I can't remember who we had here, but it kind of rained most of the time that they were here. And that's
maybe Jared and Brittany, or no, we went to Cozumel with them. Yeah, somebody, but they were like, I don't care. As long as I'm out of whatever they were dealing with, they were like, I'm fine.
But like, I want the beach to look good. Like right now, the beach it doesn't look bad. It's just like,
very narrow.
It's not high tide, but it's like high ocean season, I guess. Like for a couple of weeks, it comes up really far for, like I said, for a few weeks, and then it dissipates and goes back, and then there's more of the beach. But right now it's up pretty high, especially because we're getting a lot of storms and stuff. And, so yeah, I just want it to look good. And that's like, today, actually, yeah. Is he coming in today or tomorrow? I don't know. But our buddy Frank is coming in town. And
Frank the Tank.
Yeah. And he's the one that I went to Egypt with and I did my whole European trip with and stuff. Yeah. So and he's actually Venezuelan as well, funny enough. So we're going to take him to the same restaurant that Jose and I went to.
That'll be great. I can't wait to go there. He's Venezuelan, and what also? It's his birthday.
Oh, yeah. And it's his birthday, too.
Both your Venezuelan friends' birthdays back to back.
We are the number one podcast and destination for Venezuelans and birthday trips.
Venezuelan, come on down.
Come on. You get
come
one.
on over.
You get a taco. You get a taco.
Yeah. I will say real quick, though, like Jose's whole family, when we went to the grocery store with them and they were shopping and seeing their favorite, snacks and things to buy here, we were spot on. We're eating the sabritas, we're eating the candy, we're eating the bakery, like the pastries that they get. And they were like, oh, these are my favorite. I'm like, those are my favorite chips. Those are my favorite pastries. I was like, I am totally Mexican.
Yes.
still can't, not fluent though.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just kind of like nervous for him to be in town. And hopefully like the weather holds out, because there was like some kind of tropical storm forming. And that's the hard thing too, is like a lot of people just come in for a couple days, which I've always said, I know it's not always possible, at least a week if you can.
If you can, yeah.
Yeah.
Or long weekends usually okay.
No,
To a
it's
week.
not. Week. At least a week.
Yeah, true.
Because if it rains for 2-3 days, especially during rainy season,
Mm-hmm.
then it's, raining the whole time. You want to be on the beach and
True.
doing things outside. And
Or
stuff.
if you're only here for a few days and it's raining from time to time, you really have to be on it. Like, oh, the sun's out in the morning. Get to the pool, get to the beach, get to whatever you're doing. Then it's gonna rain, or vice versa.
Yeah. No,
I feel like that's how it always happens.
So I'm hoping the rain holds out, the weather looks good, the beach looks good.
Yeah.
But there's tons of stuff to do, even if it is like a little cloudy or whatever. It's
Sure.
just it's not going to be as hot.
Sometimes not everybody wants it to be super hot or like super sunny.
Anybody that
or-
comes from somewhere where it's not like that
Sure.
wants it to be like that. That's why you come here.
True. Well, he's coming from Florida.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
you don't want it to be super hot. No, yeah, I'm just thinking of like other people. What else do we do? Oh, we were walking to the grocery store, and there are a lot of bats around here.
A lot.
Like our tree, we got Bruce out front that we hear him at night.
Little fruit buddies.
And you'll just be walking down the street, and they're just flying through the trees and stuff. The other day, we were walking to the grocery store, and this one tree that has a bunch of bats in it, this bat came down and like dive bombed me like a bird. I could see his little beady eyes
my
coming like
God.
right at me. It was fucking. He was just coming right
Coming
at
right
me.
for you.
Mhm.
They're very brave. I will say.
Yeah.
They,
So he came like dive bombing, and I look back, and he's dive bombing this other lady, and we're coming around. We get to the grocery store, and I heard a scream, and it was you.
Hey,
And turn around. What happened, Lex?
I got pooped on.
By a bat.
By a bat. I was like, well, it was weird because they were all flying around and, we're showing the family around and we're like, wow, look at them. It's great. And next thing I know, boop, right on my forehead. And I just went, oh no. And I looked at Carmen and I wiped my head with my hand. And I was like, poop. And they all just are like, oh, she got pooped on.
If Ace Ventura has taught me anything, it is guano.
A guano. Isn't that in Africa or is
No.
it the same here?
No, well, I'm sure they call bat poop the same everywhere, right? No?
Maybe. I don't know. I
Or
thought
maybe
that-
they just call it poop. Or is that African for poop?
I actually heard a lot of people saying caca, and I thought that was only Greek because my yaya would say caca is like poop. But I heard them saying, "Oh, the caca,
Oh, yeah.
caca."
I mean, I've known caca as well. I
Yeah.
don't know if that's just a phrase or if it's
Okay.
like the Spanish influence that we got in the United States. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely caca.
I will say something's up with these bats because they didn't get the memo for like daylight savings time or something. Because that's why I was shocked. They were all out at like 5. I mean, it was like 4:35. The sun was still out. They're all flying around doing all this stuff, and then I get pooped on. So. That's what my curiosity
Yeah.
gets me.
Well, we can be assured they are not vampires if they were out during the day.
They're not.
Oh yeah, so
That was fun.
Yeah, good times. All right, well, that's kind of this is it for this week. But let's get in. I know we haven't done listener questions or like the Mexican slang of the day for a little bit,
Yeah.
but we did have a listener, Brian, and he had some questions. He's just been getting caught up with the podcast, so we're gonna answer a couple of his questions. He said, "Can you give an update on the neighbor lady who is depressed?"
Oh.
Which is
Carla.
a odd story.
Yes.
Yes, we can give an update.
We can.
Kind of. So I don't know. You go ahead and tell this story because you talked to her more than I did.
Yeah, she was doing great. We became friends, amigas. We were talking every day, going over to each other's apartments, hanging out, like looking for jobs together online, all sorts of stuff. And then I can't remember, we went back to Atlanta for something or Florida. And then we were kind of talking here and there. And then all of a sudden our landlord messages me and was like, "Hey, have you heard from Carla?" And I'm like, "Oh no."
Wait, is this after what had happened?
Yeah, this is after the.
Okay, yeah. So to catch anyone
sorry,
else
sorry.
that hasn't heard this episode or our previous episode, our neighbor tried to commit suicide, and Alexis saved her. Basically, I think. And
She was having a hard time.
and yeah, she was having a hard time financially, and with family and stuff like that. So Alexis, I believe, saved her life and befriended her and was checking in on her, making sure everything's okay.
Yeah.
Our landlord was very cool. He was trying to like kind of work with her for her rent and stuff
For
like
sure.
that. Yeah. So
Yeah, she had just some unexpected money issues, and yeah, she was very upset and doesn't have a support system, doesn't really talk to a lot of her family. And she's a little bit older, so she doesn't have family left, and some she doesn't really speak with. And we kind of bonded over from Atlanta. She's from New Jersey, but she lived in Atlanta for a while, so that's how we kind of started talking. So we got through that, and everything seemed fine. And then we left for a couple of weeks, and my landlord was like, "Hey, haven't heard from Carla. Rent's due again. What's going on?" And my heart just sinks, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not there. What happened?" And trying to message her, reach her on social media. I'm blocked. I'm blocked on social media.
what the fuck?
I'm like, oh, maybe she got rid of her social media. No, looked at it again. I'm blocked. And then I'm communicating with our landlord, like, hey, I haven't heard from her. He's trying to like reach her, knock on the door, all sorts of stuff. And then he tells us eventually that he went in. He went in the apartment and she wasn't there. Pretty much everything was gone. She left some stuff, including a cat.
Yes.
She had 2 cats, took Sam, and left Wednesday. So the cat was there. Actually, I think that's what sparked him to actually.
The cat's name is Wednesday. That's not the day she left.
No,
right?
the cat's
Okay.
name is Wednesday. Really nice cats, but
I took Sam and I said, fuck it, I'm leaving Wednesday.
I'm leaving. Let's go. I think that's what sparked him to actually go, okay, I need to go in there and see what's going on, because our other neighbor, Carla, was like, hey, I hear a cat meowing at the door like constantly, like something's going on in there. She's not home or in trouble. So he's thinking the worst before he goes in there.
Yeah.
She's not in there, packed up a bunch of her stuff, took the one cat, left the other cat, just gone. Just
Yeah.
left. She just left.
So for the update, super weird. And I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt, like, because some people that we've told the story to are our neighbors and stuff. They're like, why would you fucking lock your cat in your apartment and just leave? What if it's starved to death or whatever?
Right, we're thinking the worst.
To be fair, she had asked, she was gonna go out of town for like a month and a half or 2 months or something.
Yeah.
And I think she had asked you to watch her cat, and you're like, I can't be
2 cats.
Yeah, 2 cats. Sorry, I can't be responsible for both of them.
Yeah.
At the time you're working, and
Tiger.
and we a lot with Tiger and stuff, and I think we're going out of town or something.
Yeah.
So what I think happened is, I think she found someone to come and feed her cats. I keep saying, or I was telling somebody, I was like, yeah, I had to let her cats out. I was like, you don't let them out. You just clean up their shit in that box.
The dogs out.
But so she was, I think she had another friend coming to feed the cats and clean their litter box and stuff like that. And when like stuff started to get weird with the rent, I think he had changed the door code.
Like to the building.
Yeah, to the building.
Yeah.
So I think that lady couldn't get in to feed the cat, and then she just like didn't want to call him, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, because she's not going to be like, hey, I know I owe you a bunch of money for rent, but I just, like, she's probably just didn't want to be like, oh, they'll probably eventually go in there. So I don't think she was like a malicious person trying to like lock her cat in that apartment, because that cat was a stray, right?
Right. Both of them were strays, but these cats are amazing. They were very, friendly and snuggly, and you can tell they were very well taken care of. She took care of them.
My point is like, it was a stray. If she was really trying to leave it, I think she would just let it out. Like, just let it out. It was a street cat initially. So it would have been fine surviving on the street if it had to. So I don't think she would have locked. That wouldn't make any sense to lock in a street cat when she could have, like, that's not any better, but.
Right.
Or, I mean, actually it is better, but it's not good, but it is better than, locking them in. So I don't think she did that.
Yeah. She did mention to me, like before we had gone wherever we went for a couple weeks, she did mention to me that she used to have like a little RV, like a little van, and she would travel around and do all these different things. And she was like, I should do that again. So I'm pretty sure that's probably what she's doing. She probably gathered up whatever money she has, all her stuff, and is either, hitchhiking or traveling around with her little van. I don't know. But I hope she's okay. I wish her the best. I wish her well. I wish she would have just told me, just a little Facebook message like, hey, this is what's going on. Bye. I'm leaving or something. I don't know. But maybe one day.
She's probably just a little embarrassed and, whatever. But for the update, so she left, and now we that's the place my parents rented.
Yeah.
And so now we manage that rental. So if anybody wants to stay right next door to us in the old cat lady's place.
And it's all cleaned up.
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
all
smell like
been-
cats or anything.
No,
Yeah.
they steam cleaned we had everything cleaned and, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So,
So update, you could stay in this place if you'd
Yeah.
like to. Just message us.
for sure.
Yeah. So that was the update there, Brian. And then his next question: was there any resolution to the apartment break-in?
Oh, I forgot
Remember
about that.
that?
That
Yeah.
was fun.
Yeah. So also to update some people, we've never had any security issues in this place. There are
Never.
cameras at the entrance and outside. There's like a key code thing to get into our building. So there was this like weird story, this couple that had just moved in and they lived on the like very top floor.
Yeah.
Said that somebody broke into their house or into their apartment and took all this stuff and left. And everybody's like kind of freaking out. And our landlord pulled the video. We watched the video. We saw a guy did do that. He did come in, but he walked right up to the door, opened it up, went right in. So we were kind of speculating at the time it was planned or whatever.
Ex-boyfriend or, job something. I don't know.
And I can't remember on that episode if we gave this up. There's not much of an update from that.
Yeah.
We never figured out who it was or whatever. Those people moved out shortly after.
Down.
But I think that they were doing like an OnlyFans type of thing in there. I can't remember who alerted us to that information.
Across the hall is our friend Lisa, and she said she would hear some very questionable things from time to time going on in there. And we saw like a ring light.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And the photos and the videos they took of their place, there was like a chair in the middle of the room with like a ring light, and there was like some other equipment and stuff. So I think maybe either like, and if you remember this other episode, I got like proposition from some girls at the grocery store to be in like kind of a threesome sex video. So I'm thinking maybe these people were doing that, met some guy or something to be in this video, and maybe he either got the door code or just knew what they had in there, and then, I don't know, something. But it was definitely an inside type of job. It wasn't like some dude walking down the street just broke into our place.
Yeah, no. And it's never happened again. And just from like the photos that we saw, there was, things everywhere, and it looked like normal, nice things. And he only took like one bag. It was like, it seems very specific, like you're saying.
Yeah.
It was like a bag, not busting the seams. He didn't grab everything he could. There was specific things in there that we couldn't see. You can see the outline, and he took that one bag. So he was looking for something specific, like a laptop or whatever. But we've had a couple girls in this building do OnlyFans and invite people here that were like, who are you? Who are you? We don't know you, coming in and out of our building. So very not safe.
Yeah. So that's kind of as much as an update we got.
Yeah.
Like nothing has ever happened since then. So it was definitely those people. But yeah, so that's about it. We'll get to some more listener questions next episode, but we haven't done a Mexican slang of the day for a while.
Yeah.
And I just learned of a new one, or somewhat recently learned of a new one. So you ready for the Mexican slang of the day?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
The Mexican slang of the day is chalengo.
Ooh, that's fun to say. Chalengo. Is it something with a beer? Like chela?
Kind of.
Oh.
Well, nah, it doesn't have anything to do with the beer,
Okay.
but that's where I had first heard of it. And then this weekend, with Jose and his family in town, made me think of it again.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing this beer and it said something chalengo on it.
Ah.
And they had mentioned, Jose and his family had mentioned it too. It means it's the name for somebody from Mexico City.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like, or I guess you could say you're Chilengan or something. I don't know how you would phrase it that way. But yeah, Chilengo is somebody from Mexico City. So it's just like a slang word for people from, that area.
Oh, okay.
And then also I did learn this. They said, over in DFA. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't, once they like said it again, it like kind of clicked. But like Mexico City is actually Mexico City DFA, which is like Washington, D.C., like District of Columbia. DFA is federal district. So because, Mexico City is the capital of the country of Mexico.
Gotcha.
So
that
yeah,
makes sense.
so you can also refer to Mexico City as DFA. And also it doesn't help that there's the state of So the country is Mexico. There's a state called Mexico, and then there's a city, Mexico City.
Yeah.
So maybe DFA is just an easier way. That's probably why they're making up Chalengo and DFA.
Right. That's so funny. That's good to know. I like that. Very nice.
Very nice. Yep. So, that's it for today. As usual, if you'd like to support the podcast, hansonsonhiatus.com. Oh, sorry. buymeacoffee.com /Hansons on Hiatus. And you can buy us a beer there. You can buy one, you can buy five. It doesn't matter. We appreciate everything that you guys send our way.
Thank you so much.
And also follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, all the things. And now all these new opportunities on, Google Podcasts and all the different outlets.
Whatever platform you're on, just look up Hansons on Hiatus and we're there.
Thank you for joining us. We'll catch you next week. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.